caught it. Today we're talking about some pretty unique tripods. This is the Tripod X by Edelkrone, and it actually comes in two different versions, both of which I have here, the Pro and the Rapid. Now right out the gate, I will tell you that this is not the tripod for everyone. Edelkrone makes some very unique products that sometimes are niche, sometimes are more generalized, but for the person that it is made for is going to appreciate all of the different specific design features and functionality that Edelkrone is known for. In my opinion, these tripods are best built for a studio environment or some commercial freelancer who is traveling around to a set who already has, a decent amount of pelicans and cases that they're bringing, that one more nice soft, it says soft case, but it's more of like a semi hard shell case. So I'm about to pack this up for the wedding. You can see we got the wheels on the side, which just slide in that little area designated for it. The only downside to this case, obviously, is it doesn't fit with the tripod head. So I could just twist off this head and close it up. But to be honest, I don't actually really mind it. But it still kind of works. So that's why I'm leaving the head on is, yeah, it's not really falling out. And I can still carry it around easy enough. So I don't know. I don't mind it. Would you take the head off, though? Now, for the most part, these tripods share the majority of the same specs. The main difference between these two is the lifting capacity. So for the Rapid, it's going to max out at 17 pounds, whereas for the Pro, it's going to be just over 44 pounds. Meaning if you have some pretty beefy studio cameras to hook up to it, you're going to have no problems. Now, besides price, why would you go for the Rapid model or the Pro model specifically? The Rapid model, with its name, means that it can actually raise and its motors will work a lot faster because it's working with lighter loads. Now, of course, I think it's fair to see a speed difference between the two. So because I can't press these at exactly the same time, we'll give the Pro a touch head start and see how it does. So all we do is hit the up there. So the Pro's going as fast as it possibly can to get to the top. And the Rapid, of course, only has that singular speed. Here you can adjust between 10 and 100%. This is just one gear. It's just go. All right, you can see the Rapid has reached its top spot and we're at 65%. Just for reference, I am pretty much exactly 6 feet tall, and my tripod head is right up to my forehead. That honestly gives me a peace of mind. Again, when I'm attaching something like my fully rigged out 𝗬𝗧𝗨𝗙𝗙, some of my other tripods that I've had for years, which I do love, don't give you the same amount of confidence with these bigger rigs. But this is the only tripod out there currently that has a auto leveling system. Yeah, I absolutely love these spreader bars here. There's 3 little buttons, one on each leg. I simply just press on it and then you can see it extends out and it still feels so solid. All I have to do is press the center button here and it's going to auto level the whole system out, no matter what the configuration of the legs are. Now I want to show you what it looks like if I want one of these legs to be kind of off kilter. I'm just going to record on my phone here. I'm going to double press the center button and you can see the different legs highlighted here. I can go to one of the legs and just go up and down. You can just go through all the variation of options to get the specific shot you want. I can just press the center button there and it's going to level itself out again and get it back to perfectly stable. I have a Manfrotto tripod, which has like these wheels that you have to, get down and independently unscrew and tighten, and making adjustments just like the tripod can be annoying, especially if you already have the camera package on top. It's damn near dangerous, not just inconvenient. There is a independent Apple Watch app as well as iOS app that gives you the same functionality of raising and lowering. 99% of the time I've just interfaced and it's been easier with the actual onboard controls. Now you can pick up these optional wheels, and these wheels are incredible. They have no locks on them, but you don't need them. Right now, this thing is fully solid. I can go in and I can, make adjustments to the camera rig, and the tripod's not going to move. But as soon as I grab one of the legs and give it enough force, it just glides across. You could almost use this as a dolly. The wheels are kind of free flowing, so it's not going to give you perfect, straight dolly shots. That would be cool if you could lock the wheels in a certain direction. But Edelkrone does have another dolly product that they just came out with recently, which I would think is a perfect combo to the tripod. And I did bring this to a wedding over the past weekend where I had the wheels and I had the Pro with the 𝗬𝗧𝗨𝗙 on top, and I threw on my 150 mil, which I wanted to just be able to create a montage during the reception of this wedding, to really have close-ups on a lot of people's faces on the dance floor, kind of, shooting in between windows of people. And not only obviously did it keep the footage stable and smooth, but I was able to move around the parallel of the dance floor so easily. And after carrying this thing on my shoulder all day long, I was happy to finally attach the camera to a tripod to get some of these shots and still be able to move around. If you're wondering how the battery works, each of these runs off of one of these little batteries right here that charges up, and it does come with the charger. And not only will one of these batteries give you a full day's use, I think it says it will do like up to 300 adjustments per battery life. Now, of course, the downside is if this battery dies while you're mid-shoot, there is no manual override to the tripod. So if this battery died right now, this is the height that the tripod would be stuck at. But again, as long as you decently remember to charge this, maybe every couple days or so, you will be totally fine. I used this battery for a decent amount of time yesterday at the wedding, as I suggested, and it still hasn't left the 3 bars. So besides just huge cameras, who else is going to benefit from this tripod? And I think that's people using sliders. You can see over there on the Rapid, I have a 𝗦𝗧𝗨𝗙𝗙 with the shark slider that I reviewed a couple months back. When using a slider, one of the tests I wanted to check out is how stable it still is when going from one end to the other. Because again, on previous tripods, I wanted to connect these edges into the middle to just make it more secure, because the tripod heads would kind of lean, but directly on here, it just feels so much more stable. So now if I run this through, you can see going from one end to the other, yeah, there's essentially no like tilt or wiggle or anything that's gonna lead me to believe this tripod is about to like completely fall over on either side. Now, obviously, if you wanted to get lower or make it even more sturdy, then you would just take out the legs as much as you want. There's no bubble you need. You just press that center button and it's going to level it all out for you. But I think Edelkrone is known for their modular design. And if you own some of their other stuff, for example, again, the dolly I mentioned a few minutes ago, they have so many different motion control like jib arms and remote control fluid heads. And when you start piecing all these components together, you can really build out these pretty impressive, almost camera robot type camera moves for a fraction of the price. Again, if you're coming from really cheap tripods and stuff, everything looks really expensive. But when you start comparing it to like, I don't know, a bolt action arm, which costs 6 figures, when you piece together a Tripod X, the new dolly thing, so add some accessories, we're hovering right around the $10,000 price point. And you can get all sorts of different crazy camera moves. When I first got these tripods in, I really kind of was short-sighted almost at first, because I set it up, I pressed the button, I was like, cool, it goes up and down. Like, what am I going to talk about in this video? But then after using it for a number of weeks in a couple different environments, different sort of setups and loads on it, you really start to see the quality of life improvements that a product like this brings. And I think true professionals are going to understand that. If you just have a little mirrorless camera and you just need a tripod to be a basic tripod, then maybe you move this to your save for later. But if you're constantly attaching larger accessories to your tripod, like sliders, jibs, whatever, if you want something that is easy to move around and make height adjustments around a studio environment or on sets that you're traveling to already with a bunch of gear, and you want a tripod that legit just feels like a tank, that your camera is not going anywhere, then I would definitely give Tripod X a look. And of course, you can check out my link in the description to get all the latest information on it. If you have any questions on the setup or the tripod in general, let me know down in the comments below. Shout out to Edelkrone for sending the tripods out, letting me review them, and for sponsoring this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.